Hey guys, welcome to today's episode of the Level Up REI podcast with Rick. And today I got my good friend Brent Bowers. Now, when it comes to real estate investing, a lot of times when people get started, the first thing they're worried about is, "Oh, I don't have any money. How do I get started in real estate?" And Brent here is going to show us the fastest, most affordable, and easiest way to get started in real estate today. Brent, what do we got going on here?
What's up, Rick? I am so excited to do this. You know, I'm just going to let the cat out of the bag. It's probably not too hard to realize, but my hat says land.
There it is.
I In 2016, I owned rental properties. I had 7 doors, and there's a thing about rental properties. A tenant is always going to break something. The water heater's always going to go out. The roof's going to leak. The septic system's going to go out. Yada yada yada. There's going to be evictions. There's going to be vacancies, but I did my first land deal in 2016 because luckily I heard a guy on a podcast talking about it, and I thought you couldn't make money with land because I thought you had to buy land and wait. Well, I didn't have time to wait. I need money today. Honestly, I
Right.
was behind on payments and on some stuff, so I was kind of pretty broke in 2016. Brand new second lieutenant in the military, but I started mailing landowners and I talked to some landowners that were pretty motivated to sell to me. They were on the county held tax lien list. Basically, that means that no one was paying the back taxes for their land because they had worthless land in their
Okay.
eyes and other people's eyes. But one man's trash is another man's treasure.
There it is.
So I would get this land for like a couple $100, $285 was the first one, and I sold it to a realtor for 5,000. First land
Wow.
deal I ever did, and I made 4,700 bucks in a couple hours. So I was pretty hooked after that. I didn't have the couple $100, and so many people asked me. Well, I didn't have a couple $100 to buy that land, so I had to find my buyer first. But people ask me all the time, well, how much money do I need to buy land? Or what if I have $3,000 to buy land with? Where should I go? I say don't buy any land with that 3,000. Use that, take 1,500 of it and put it away.
Yeah.
Use the other 1,500 to send out what I call land offer letters or marketing letters, and then don't market anymore after that 1,500, except for picking up the phone and dialing and
That's
smiling.
it.
Everyone
Yeah.
has a cell phone number. I'm sorry, everyone has a cell phone. You're already paying for it. Let's keep as our friend Tom Kroll says, our
Yeah.
great mentor Tom Kroll is like, keep revenue in the first position. Like, I don't want people spending money. Like, we're not building logos, we're not building websites, we're not getting LLCs. We're going out there and doing income producing activities.
That's it. That's it. That's awesome, man. So let's unpack some of that. 2016, what even led you to think about this? Like what even like where did the whole idea of land, real estate, like evolving from like what got you into houses to begin with? Why real
Yeah.
estate?
Well, I've always wanted to be a real estate investor. Always.
Okay.
I was reading Donald Trump books when I was in middle school.
Right.
Grew up in a 900 square foot house, 3 bedroom, 1 bath house. This is before they started putting 2 bedrooms, I'm sorry, 2 bathrooms in house. I'm just kidding. In Florida, I don't think we had an air conditioner until I was 12 years old. I didn't know, and asked me how we did it in Florida. I don't know, but but I didn't realize like my parents worked really hard. Like I don't think they
Right.
were poor, but we darn sure weren't rolling in the dough. But I always like wanted to do something one day. I wanted to have businesses, and I loved the before and after for real estate. So I got my real estate license in 2007 after taking that stupid test like 3 times. Um, Unbelievably ridiculous. And that test didn't teach me how to do crap. So 2009, I gave up because I was like, this sucks. Like, this is the worst business ever. And I bought a rental property in 2007. So I joined the military in 2009 because I thought maybe it'd be easier than being a realtor. Uh,
Yeah.
no offense to real estate agents, but I felt like I got taken advantage of. I go to a listing appointment, the lights would turn off when I'm knocking on the door. I would show people all these rental properties, and in South Florida, they stunk. The homeowners were too cheap to run the air conditioner, so I'd get there ahead of time and try and spray Febreze, and I'd show them like 15 houses, and they wouldn't even rent from me. So it was just terrible. So eventually, I had to move in with my in-laws and join the military. So I took a little break from 2009 to 2013. But what got me in the house? I wanted to be somebody one day, and
Right.
honestly, I had 7 doors by 2016, and I could never have left my job. If I didn't have a job, I probably would have lost all those houses because something, again, was always breaking. I maxed out my credit cards to fix up these houses, and I do air quotes, fix them up.
Yeah.
Um, and I just knew there had to be a better way. And I was preparing for my third combat deployment to Afghanistan in 2016. I'd already had one divorce under my belt. And like now there's kids involved, and I saw the writing on the wall. And my wife was like sick of it. She's like, I'm tired of this. Like, I didn't sign up to raise these kids by myself.
Right.
So I was like, I got to figure something out. And I started diving back in, to learning. I hooked up with Wholesaling Inc. Started wholesaling, trying to wholesale houses on my 13-hour workday with the military. And I just kept searching for answers, listening to podcasts just like this. And I heard a guy on a podcast talking about doubling his money overnight with land. And I was like, okay, no one's talking about land. No one. This
Right.
is in 2016. Now people are starting to catch on.
So you evolved from through wholesaling, which nowadays everybody watches the podcast or clicks the link on social media, and wholesaling is the popular one, right? But what they don't tell you in the regular wholesaling world is, yes, you can get in without any quote unquote money, but you're going to invest something. If it's not money, it's a boatload of time, it's gas, and primarily time, right? So let's talk about how you're able to do this so efficiently, right? What's the process look like if I'm going through and I'm looking to wholesale off a piece of land? What's your marketing look like? Like
Yeah.
how do you do that?
Yeah, let's break it down because I'm not getting on airplanes looking at land deals. I'm not driving to the land deals. I don't look at 95% of this stuff unless it's like literally in my backyard. And that happens. I love land. I love going and checking it out when I can. But here's how it looks. First, I pick a playground. I pick an area that's in demand. What does that mean? Land is selling there. I've bought a lot of land, over 300 parcels of land since 2016.
Okay.
However, I've bought a lot of land that I had to work hard to sell it. So I would prefer to fill a demand than create demand. It's a lot easier to fill the demand. So I go on Redfin. I see where land's selling in the last 3 to 6 months. Once I figure that out, I try and get a tight area, a neighborhood or a subdivision or a community. Then I price that land out either with my yellow pad, my yellow legal pad, or Redfin makes it really easy for you. You can download all, most counties, you can download all and build it out, whether it's price per acre or price per square foot.
Okay.
Once you figure out what it's stuff selling for, now you want to do apple to apple comparisons now. You don't want to like price a 5 acre against a 10,000 square foot lot. That's not going to work. Your numbers
Right.
are screwed up. And let me tell you, your numbers are actually never going to be perfect. Mine still aren't perfect. I negotiate. My dad sent me 3 land deals a couple days ago, and I told him I'll buy them. He just hooked me straight up with a seller because my dad does this as well.
Okay.
He sent me 3 land deals. I called the seller. I said, I know what you want. I can pay that. Um, I can pay you a little bit more if you want to be the bank, if you want to finance this for me. He goes, no, I need the money now. I said, well, I know what you want for them. I already agreed to pay that. But if I can close a little faster, would you give me a discount? And guess what he said? No. So I asked though. I mean, he might have knocked down $2,000 or $3,000. It was definitely worth asking the question.
Right.
But once I figure that out, I send what's called LOLs or land. Well, let me back up. I missed a spot. I go to a list pooling company, a list provider. Do you have one that you like using?
Yeah. Yeah. We just use list source.
Well, you got it. I'm sure you have an affiliate link. I
Uh,
love list source.
yeah. List source
So
is a great link. Yeah.
shoot, man, share people how to get that because I'll go to list source and then I'll pull a list of just that area. And once I pull that list, I go to my CRM. It's built just for land investors. It's got all my templates and my forms. It's the landsharks.com/CRM.
Okay.
And then we blast out these land offer letters. If anybody wants a copy of that land offer letter, is it okay if I just put out the link? They can grab it.
Yep. Absolutely. Whatever you
Um,
got.
Go to the landsharks.com/LOL, as in land offer letters. Well, in the beginning, when I was buying land from these tax delinquent people and they're out of state, the land was inefficient, it's like not buildable, not accessible, or landlocked. I would send them what we call the tribe postcard. It's the wholesaling postcard. I still use it to this day. It's when I'm usually trying to mail a whole county or maybe even a whole state. I'll send that postcard. It's just a handwritten black and white simple postcard, and it says, "Hey, my name's Brent. I'd like to buy the land in El Paso County, Colorado. That's actually where I started, at Fort Carson, Colorado. If you're interested in an all cash fair price offer, text me or call me. God bless you. And if anybody wants a copy of that postcard, just go to thelandsharks.com/postcard
There you go.
and grab yourself a copy and start taking action today. But so by sending out that land offer letter, that allows me to get land deals in my inbox. Now, I want to give a disclaimer here. Most people are not going to accept my offer. Most people aren't. But if you're making 10, 20, 50 offers a day, you got something called compounding on your side.
Yeah.
And it's like priming one of those red farmhouse pumps. Eventually someone's going to say yes, you're going to make $10,000 or $20,000 on the land deal.
Yep.
It's just the law of averages. God favors the people that go out there and take action.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. That is so important. If we all the education you can teach, but real estate, just like anything else, the education's important, but the implementation makes it all work, right? We can learn everything under the sun, but if we don't go implement, there's not going to be any results. So what's been the improvement in your personal life, your family, your time, all that stuff you were battling at the beginning when you were dealing with rentals, going to work every day,
Mm.
trying to wholesale. What's your life look like today?
I was a slave in the military. I would leave my house at about 5:30 a.m. before my newborn would wake up, before my wife would wake up, and I get home and my newborn's already down, and my wife's freaking exhausted because she stayed home with him all day, and she's going to bed. But like sometimes the food would be on the counter.
Right.
My wife would make dinner and it'd already be cold, and I'd be getting home at 8 o'clock at night. And what people don't talk about, so now deployments are like 9 months and 6 months. Before they were 1 year. Oh, by the way, you got to train up for 6 months before that. And I was told what to wear, how to look, where to be every single day. And on a deployment, you're working 7 days a week. In the field, you're working seven. I had no life. I accumulate, so I think I got 30 days of leave a year in the military.
Okay.
I haven't had a real job since 2018, but I got 30 days a year of leave, and I accumulated almost like I think 95 days because I wasn't even able to use my leave. So my wife was sick of that.
Right.
First wife was like, "I'm out of here," and I thought my beautiful wife now was going to do the same thing. Honestly, so I was fearful, but I really didn't get into the land business to get rich. I don't think I mean, yes, I wanted to be rich when I was a kid, but by the time I was, 26, 27 years old, I just wanted to get out of the Army. I wanted my time back. I wanted time freedom. And then eventually I figured it out. We were making about $12,000 a month by the time I got out of the military. And that was net. That was from payments coming in on land that we had sold on. I loved selling land on seller financing.
Right.
I want to be the bank because most banks don't lend on land. So I'm feeling that inefficiency, and I'm making a pile of interest, and I'm getting paid every day for land, and it's better than rentals because nothing ever breaks. So I was
Right.
making 12 grand a month. I went from making like $4,200 a month in the military, working whatever, let's just say 40 hours a week, which I know was a lot more than that.
Right.
Do the math, to making 12 grand a month. Got out of the military, I didn't have anything to do, so I started
Okay.
coaching people. I thanks to Tom Kroll, he got me into it.
So you got the experience of everything you're doing with the land. Now, so you're, this is very good nugget here for people to pay attention to. So you're dialed in. Land is all you do.
No, no,
Oh, you're doing other things in
I'm
addition to?
I'm a serial entrepreneur. I absolutely have shiny object syndrome. It's probably the worst thing. Learn from me. Don't try and do everything. But so when I found land, I was wholesaling houses.
Right.
Then I wanted to build my ego, so I wanted to flip houses and do land. And
Okay.
eventually I hired a fractional CFO. We had a team of 12 or 13 people. I bought the office, was driving the big dually truck because again, I'm feeding my ego. And then my CFO says, "Brent, how much time are you spending on your house business?" And I was like, gosh, because I replaced my Army job with another job, one that I
Yep.
bought, which is AKA my business. I'm doing air quotes, anybody listening to this.
Yeah.
Now I'm working even more. I'm working even more. But I was like, man, I'm probably spending 90% of my time at least on my house business. He goes, well, how much on your land business? It's like maybe 10%. And he said, "Do you realize you're wildly more profitable in your land business than your house?" And I hate to say it, I didn't realize it. I didn't
Okay.
realize it because, like, I was stroking my ego, and so pretty much stopped houses. It was too late, unfortunately, in 2022 when the interest rates had just went up, and I
Yep.
lost money on two massive houses, and got hit with a tax bill in 2021 that was big.
Right.
I don't even want to say it. Honestly, I thought about suicide for almost 3 minutes that day. I was like then I realized I was like, what am I thinking here? I pretty much have dug out of that hole that I got
Okay.
myself into. Um, but where I'm getting at with all this, I now take that land money, that land profit I get every single day or every single month, and I still flip probably one or two parcels a month.
Okay.
I'm trying to do less. I no longer have a team except for my office manager, just me and my office manager.
Nice.
Real small business, lean and mean. Someone told me yesterday. Uh,
Yep.
and I take that money and I invest it into long-term cash producing assets that give me tax shelters.
Okay.
I was paying like 40 cents on the dollar to the IRS. So we all need to realize we are partnered with the IRS. So a lot of people have a problem. I need to make money, need to make money. 2 years go by, you make a pile of money. Now you owe a lot to the IRS.
Yeah.
And I wasn't sitting on this cash. I was putting it into more land, more houses. Now I'm putting it into things like in light industrial buildings,
Okay.
mobile home parks that give me massive tax write-offs. But here's
Got
the
it.
thing, they also spit out more cash flow every single month. The tenants pay down the mortgages
Okay.
and they all appreciate. Where am I missing? Tax incentive, appreciation, cash flow, and monthly cash flow. I think there's like four
That's
things.
beautiful. So you're using your what we like to call in the industry your active income, which is your land,
Yes.
to go invest passively in assets that are continue paying you over time.
And they'll all
Right.
be paid off in 15 years. So we're trying to get 15-year mortgages on them.
That's such an important model for everybody to hear now. Your active income, which means you're doing the work, you're doing the deal, you're flipping the land, you're buying the land, you're selling the land, making money, right? Where people get it backwards is they see the wrong thing online or something and they hear the word passive income and they want to go out and buy a rental property. And they want to do all these things backwards. It's completely backwards. You build up your active income, which could be your job, which could be your land flipping business, however you're making your money to invest passively. So don't let anybody tell you different. And from what Brent's telling us right now, this is a very lucrative, low entry cost to get started in land. So Brent, if I'm talking to someone brand new, or if I'm talking to another house person, like I'm like, okay, this land thing's kind of interesting. What do you say to someone like me that doesn't even know anything about this?
Yeah, I mean, I say like take it and run with it. A lot of house guys that are doing houses, they come across land deals all the time
Yeah.
and they
All
had no clue what to do. I can't tell you how many free deals I get from house guys or wholesalers. Like they're like, "What do I do with this?" I'm like, "Let's
yeah.
buy it." So I turn away land well, not this week, but I feel like I turn away land every couple days.
Really?
Someone sends me a land deal, I don't even have time to look at it. When I had a team, 3 acquisition managers, it was a beautiful funnel system. But again, I don't want to manage people anymore. Like
Right.
these houses, I'm sorry, not houses suck. I'm selling all my houses. I got about six more to sell.
Okay.
I'm trading up. I got
Okay.
equity in them. They net me money every month. Not really, because something always breaks. But I'm trading up. But these industrial buildings that have triple net leases, these tenants. So just so everyone knows, a triple net lease, the tenant's pretty much responsible for everything.
Right.
They pay the taxes, they pay the insurance, they pay for all repairs. Like, I don't hear from these guys. My land buyers, I hardly ever hear from them. Sometimes I do because sometimes they're late. I just had one reach out yesterday. He sold the land, so I'm about to get $176,000 from him that he owes me on a mortgage.
Nice.
But here's the thing, he actually owes me 200 grand. But he can't build what he wants to build on it, so he's ready. He's been trying to sell it for a little while, but he got a low ball offer from someone. because the land's not that great. But he's like, I owe you 200 grand. Will you take less? And I'm like, well, what's the numbers look like? So his realtor sent me a seller's net sheet. I'm gonna get 176 grand. I bought this
Nice.
land for like 150. He already
Nice.
paid me 29,000 in payments plus a $25,000 down payment. So I'll
Nice.
take it. But I've heard from this guy like twice in 2.5 years.
Really? And that's when you sold on seller finance.
Yeah, that's when I
Yeah.
sold on seller finance in
That-
Daytona Beach, Florida.
So that's in it. So to help people understand, that's in a totally different market than where you're at. That's not you're in your backyard.
No, it's 2.5 hours north of me.
Okay. All right. So you end up, so if you're marketing, like if you're marketing in Toledo, Ohio, where I'm at, right? And you're gonna find land for me. So you're sending the letters and then you find an agent in the area that understands it?
Yeah, you got it. So let's just say that I send one to Sam the seller in Toledo, and Sam signs it, sends it back. I offered him 7,900 bucks for his land. It's worth like 16,900. So I'm at about 50 cents on the dollar. Great. Looks like a deal to me. I'll make like $8,000. So I go online. I'm like, who is selling the land in Toledo, Ohio? Okay. Realtor Robert, he's selling land. I'm gonna call Realtor and be like, hey man, I got some land on 123 Main Street. It's a half-acre parcel. What do you think the 30-day blowout price is for me? Or if you were to list that for me, like what's your get her done now price? And he says, yeah, probably like 14,000. Great. Will you list it for me? So, and oh, by the way, can you list it while I'm in the process of closing it? So we're pre-marketing it most of the
Yeah.
time. By the
Hmm.
time I take ownership of it, I hopefully already have an offer.
Nice. Nice. That's a legitimate system, man. And you're just trying to do one or two of those a month and that satisfies your need.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm just throwing more into the pump because we already got the bills covered with the monthly land notes.
Right. I love it. That's good stuff. What would you say when you first got started off? What were some struggles when you first started doing this?
Struggles. Oh my gosh. So the struggles was I got success too quick.
Really?
I made 285. I bought one for $285 and sold it to the realtor for 5 grand. Had
Okay.
no clue what I was doing. She sold it for 15 grand. The second one I bought for $500. This was landlocked land next to Fort Carson, really close to NORAD in Colorado Springs. If anybody's
Okay.
familiar with that area. Well, I took photos of the land and I posted on Craigslist because I was not confident what I was doing, but I just wanted my money back out. I wanted that $500 back. So I do for $500 down, 400 a month, total of 5 grand for this land too. And sure enough, the next day, someone brought me $500 to my house. I wrote what's called a land contract or a contract for deed saying, you
Yep.
pay me $400 a month. Once you hit 5 grand, the land's yours. I'll transfer the deed in your name. Well, I started getting, well, let me back up. That's the one that changed my life. I was like, that's covering my truck payment. So I told my wife, I was like, Emily, we could do this 10 more times and we're financially free. Our bills
Yeah.
are not over 4,500 a month. So that was my goal. I wanted to hit 5,000 a month. And I wasn't going to live off that money because I still had my Army money. I was getting paid by the Army. And I hit that. It took me about a year to hit 9,000 a month
Okay.
in payments coming in. But then I started just like I would get these letters back and my postcard, and I would just go on the assessor's website, and they gave me assessed value and then what they thought the property was worth, and it kind of find out the assessed value was about 10% of what it was actually worth.
Okay.
So I'd see an assessed value of 3,300, so I'd pay 3,300,
Nice.
and I wasn't doing title searches. I wasn't doing title insurance policies. I was buying these things, quit claim deed. So I was making a lot of mistakes.
Right.
And I was buying like treasurer's deeds where people would pay the back taxes and then the land would become deed eligible and they would go after it via foreclosure and then sell it to me via treasurer's deed. Well, that's a clouded title for 9 years. I didn't know that I could have just paid 2,500 bucks to do quiet title. So little things like that. I bought a piece of land with a $157,000 IRS tax lien attached to it. I had to wait a year for that to fall off. Then I sold that one for 37 grand. But the first time I had
Nice.
it sold for 16,000. I bought the land for 300 bucks. So A lot of mistakes. Thank God I never lost any money on I bought a hole in the ground. I bought a huge pit on accident. Realtor couldn't sell it for nothing. I finally sold it on Facebook for the exact amount I bought it for, but for $100 a month.
Right. Seller
So
finance. Love
seller
it.
financing dug me out of so many holes. I didn't even charge interest for the first several years I was doing this until someone told me their CPA wanted me to charge 4.5%. And I was like, okay, you're crazy. And then I saw I made $6,400 in interest that year. And let me tell you, that was like showing cocaine to a drug.
That was it, huh?
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
That's how we all learn, man. Usually we learn something really cool by screwing something up really bad. You
Yeah.
know, I think it's cool with the experience, and you've kind of tasted all avenues from residential real estate to wholesaling to land. And I know you briefly touched on it, but with someone with your experience, I know you coach other people. Now, before we get into this, the struggles. The reason we ask about the struggles is because I highly recommend the what's the word I'm looking for? The cheat code, we'll call it. The cheat code to learn how to do these things that Brent's talking about right now is to learn from somebody that's done it. So Brent, talk a little bit about how you coach people to duplicate what you've done.
Yeah, so I don't coach a ton of people. I'm partnered with Wholesaling Inc. I'm on the Wholesaling Inc. podcast every Friday. We do which I just had Rick on there. Every Friday, we have a episode that comes out, and it's usually one of our land sharks that we're deep diving a deal. But with our land sharks community members, I lay out my entire land business, and it's all in a series of instruction to get them a result as quick as possible. These people have paid me, so I need to get them a return on investment as quick as possible. We
Right.
do several calls a week. They can call me up on my cell phone. We can do one-on-ones. I've got an amazing assistant coach. He's like my secret weapon. But that's it. I show them my entire land business. I show them how to find the money to do the land deals. I even provide the money if they need it. I
Nice.
usually will partner on them with land deals, but they don't need my money. There's so many ways they can do this without me.
Right. Right. That's awesome. And then you said that's called land sharks.
The land sharks, you got it. The land
So if
sharks.
I'm a new person interested in that, how can I find you and the land sharks?
Go to thelandsharks.com. You better mention Rick Howell on the Level Up podcast. We're gonna do a special deal for anybody that reaches out. But again, like I don't coach a ton of people. I love doing land deals, but I love coaching too. But yeah, reach out. I mean, even if you don't want to do coaching with me, I'd love to answer some questions or help someone get their first deal because this changed my life. We take a vacation, and this might sound actually a little arrogant. We're going on vacation like once a month now. It's all about the experiences. I schedule work around our trips because I don't want to wait until I'm 65. My dad's almost 65 years old. He's still not retired.
Right. I think that's so important for people to hear is the reason that we do this Level Up podcast, we call it Level Up REIs, keep it real estate based, but is to bring on people just like this that are willing to share the nuts and bolts, the truth, the reality of the pros and the cons of their business. So if you're listening to this, I highly recommend connecting with Brent if land interests you at all. If it doesn't, reach out to him anyways and just say hello. And feel free to follow. What social media is you on, Brent?
All of them, every one of them. Usually it's Brent L. Bowers. I'm on TikTok. I think every day we do a video on TikTok and Instagram and LinkedIn and Facebook. And
Okay, perfect. Reach out to Brent on any social media platform. Is Brent, if you were going to give anybody a piece of advice leaving, somebody brand new or evolving over from houses to land, what would it be?
every day, schedule some time, 10, 20, 30 minutes a day, and do income producing activities, whether it be for houses or land or mobile home parks or mobile homes. You need to get in front of the people that own these properties and want to sell. So I mean, I don't think there's anything better than sending them out a land offer letter or a LOL. You can use these for houses. But get in front of these people. You might not have a marketing budget. You might have a really tight marketing budget. Everyone's got a budget. So whatever it is, get those letters out consistently and follow up every 12 weeks, send them another letter. And when you run out of money for your marketing budget, wait 30 days, hopefully you'll have more. And call these people while you're while you're marketing. It's a force multiplier. You don't have to get a triple line dialer, none of that crap. I get those calls all the time. I know it's a dialer calling me, so I honestly I don't answer the phone most of the time. But when I do, I hear that whoop. I know it's a dialer. I hang up, but just reach out to people and just start the conversation. Is Rick, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm brand new at this. I was hoping you can help me out, but I see you own 5 acres in Toledo. Do you want to sell it by chance? No? Okay. Do you know anybody else that wants to sell it? Please don't hang up on me. I'm brand new at this. I'm in the military. I'm just trying to make some extra money to get my family a bigger house because I had the third baby. Like you open a conversation like that with me, I'm not going to hang up on you.
Right.
That's it.
Just be yourself. I love it, man. I love it. Well, Brent, I want to thank you for taking the time to come sharing all your wisdom on this. Congratulations on everything you're doing. And I hope that whatever trip you got coming up in February is awesome. So we come down to where you're at to vacation. Don't come north yet, bro. Whatever you do,
Gosh,
don't come north.
no. We just left North Carolina. That was a frozen tundra. So I don't have, well, yes, we do actually. We're going to Ormond Beach next weekend to go for a four-wheeler race, but I'm really jealous. My wife's going to Costa Rica without me
Oh,
this
wow.
month. So, yeah. So that's why I sighed like that. I'm FOMO, fear of missing out.
All right. Well, I'm sure she'll have a great time. So, guys, if you haven't heard, reach out to Brent on social media platforms and pick this guy's brain and dive into what he's doing. They're crushing the game in the land world. Until then, see you on the next episode. And I thank you for paying attention and watching us. Give us a like and a share and a follow. However you do that on the podcast world, subscribe. That's the word I'm looking for. Subscribe and share with all your friends, and we'll talk to you soon.